Hello, this is Jess Davies, and I wish I could tell you that I was so successful that I could afford a large loft size studio or a barn converted, but I don't. Although I sell my work, I don't sell that much. So I just have this very modest room at Eva Studios in Exeter in Marsh Barton, not very romantic. I've just about got space for a modest sized press. Actually it's quite small, and so this is about pretty much the largest size paper that I can use on that press. So my work on the whole tends to be quite small. If I want to do large work, then I have to rely on hand burnishing, which means to get that pressure of the paper taking the ink off a plate and getting solid colour layers, I have to press really hard with a barren, or I use the back of a spoon. So with these prints I wanted to get a very solid opaque base of black, so I've used the press to get that. So you can just see up here I've done the same. So I've cut out the white that I wanted to keep, and then I've put in this very solid black layer, which I hope is dry. Yes, it more or less is. So on top of that, I now want to get some sort of mixed textures. I don't want a sort of solid opaque colour, I want some interesting textures. So I'm now going to print what we call wet on wet. So the next colour layer that I put on top, I'm actually going to hand burnish, because I've got more control in that way. It sounds a bit odd really. I've got more control to get an interesting accidental texture. So it's less regulated than a press, and hopefully I can show you that a little bit later today. I'm going to be putting another colour on, and before that dries I'm going to be putting another colour on top of that, so it's going to kind of like sort of merge into that colour, but because it will have an uneven pressure over it, I'll hopefully get some interesting sort of differentials, some sort of interesting patterns and textures, some happy accidents happening.